Goodbye to cell phones. Since the first years of man's appearance on the face of the earth, the ways of communication between them were finding forms and expressions that allowed them to live in community and work as a team. First, they needed to have direct communication, face-to-face, for which they used signals and guttural sounds until they could articulate the first words or phonemes to many years later be able to integrate a language. It is estimated that man began to communicate with each other approximately 50,000 years ago. However, the first vestiges of written expressions of human beings date back approximately 7,000 years. Although personal communication was a long process and evolution of human capacities, communication at a distance was a greater challenge. Primitively, drums and smoke signals were used to communicate at a distance, either to warn of the presence of enemies or of the occurrence of some important event. It was in 1829 when Joseph Henry contributed the invention of the telegraph as the first effective means of remote communication. In 1854, the second invention that revolutionized communication arose and was patented by the Italian Antonio Meucci. However, it was the British Alexander Graham Bell in 1874 who gave formal use and recognition to this revolutionary device that was the wired telephone. Only in 1973, Martin Cooper, director of the Motorola company, made the first call from a wireless device. This was the origin of cellular telephony. Nowadays, the advances have been significant, since with the advent of the Internet in 1969 and the appearance of mobile applications that have revolutionized long-distance communication between people, not only has it become possible to communicate voice and images in real time from and to any part of the world without having to incur costs for the use of long distance, but this technology has created the basis for the advent of the new communication that will be neurosensory in holographic form. In the next wave of changes, cell phones and mobile devices will disappear to give way to the projection of holograms that will be emitted from a kind of wristwatch or communication boxes that will be present in homes and offices or meeting places. Audio will be received by brainwaves. Hearing aids will no longer be necessary. Human beings will develop the ability to communicate by means of brainwaves, which can be interconnected with hologram projections. Communication between people through the projection of holograms can also be handled in multiple ways. You can have a room with 20 people located on 3 continents, all sitting there with you as if they were real, when in reality, they can all be interconnected remotely. An additional experience is when you have pentasensory reality devices which can add a more personal touch, as we could say, the intimate encounter of a couple. Remote transmission of smells, touch and taste will be a reality. We will say goodbye to cell phones and welcome the new devices that will no longer have a keyboard and screen, but will communicate with the human being in a neuronal way. They are coming soon.